This was the first time I was in this boarding school, and I was there for 11 months. And I remember, it was all boys, so there weren't a whole lot of distractions. It was Advent home. It was 7-day Adventist. So we went to church on Saturdays, and then throughout the week we would work in the fields. They would have us mowing the lawn. They would have us raking things. They would have us hauling up wood in the winter. We were hauling up logs up the hill and doing all sorts of stuff, right? And we had to have responsibilities. Somebody did the dishes. This is where I fell in love with doing the dishes, because I did the whole dormitory's dishes, and it became my meditation. Then I remember there was a time, I don't know why, but we got together with this other boarding school group, and they were called Miracle Medals. So it was Advent Home and a combination of Miracle Medals, these other students. Now, this other school was co-ed, so they actually did have females at this school, and after months of going without any female contact, after months without the divine feminine, all the boys were like, they were on edge. We were like, women, girls, oh my God, what are we gonna do, right? Can we control ourselves? Can we contain ourselves? Can we hold this energy? Because there were so many boys that had different methods of releasing that energy, right? So we seen the girls on the other line, and the staff was taking care of it. They were making sure nothing was gonna go down. It was top shelf security for that boarding school. The staff was like, no intermingling with the students, singling out the students, making sure everybody's getting their meal and everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. And I passed this girl, and I remember she told me she was from not Barbados, from the Turks and Caicos. I think Turks and Caicos, some island or some place. And she gave me this look. To this day, I'll never forget this look. Her eyes, they were like small little slits. And she looked at me. This girl from the islands, this islander girl named Victoria. And she gave me a look in the lunch line as we passed each other to get our food. And she just stared at me, unblinking, unflinching. She's the only one to this day. I still get chills. Just the way she looked at me was so seductive. It was like she sent like Cupid's arrow. She pulled it all the way back and like unleashed it in my eyes, right? She sent beams of lasciviousness, of seduction, of all this energy, lustful energy. There was no love in it. It was just lust. She sent it straight into my eyes. I didn't know I could feel like that, right? Just from a look that someone gives you. I did not know that could happen. And certain chemicals and cocktails and alchemical concoctions started to go off in my body. This chemistry started to move around in my body. And, being a young buck, being a young man, I started having fantasies. I started having thoughts. I started having dreams. I started having things happening in my mental makeup. And I remember she told me, hey, she said, I like you, right? She told me her name. I told her my name. We briefly talked while we were just standing with each other in the line. This was like less than 5 minutes. And in the matter of that less than 5-minute conversation, she told me, meet me in the restroom. I don't even remember if it was a men's room or a ladies' room or if it was both or unisex. She said, meet me in the restroom. I said, okay. She said, don't worry about it. I said, the staff is everywhere. They're watching us, right? She said, don't worry about it. She said, meet me in the restroom. I said, okay, all right. Now I'm like, fidgeting. I'm like thinking to myself, I'm stroking my chin. I'm like, oh, do I need to go in? Should I go in? I'm stroking my chin. Should I go in? Somehow I sneak off to the restroom, and there she is. She's right there in the corner. She said, I knew you'd come. and I went into the restroom, and I forgot what she asked me there. But I remember she wanted to negotiate a meeting that night at the dormitory. See, the girls' dormitory was all the way up on this hill, and she told me that she was going to wait for me outside of the door just to sneak a moment to do whatever she had planned for me. And she wanted me to make my way at night out of the door, to sneak out of the door, to close it slowly, to make sure no staff would see me, to sneak all the way up the hill in the mountains, in the cold mountains and Calhoun, Tennessee, and find her in this dormitory, right? Long story short, I chickened out. At the last second, I had the opportunity. She said she was gonna get somebody to unlock the door. She was gonna get somebody to do this and gonna get somebody to do that and make sure everything was in place. And I chickened out and I went back to sleep on my bunk bed. Weeks later, after that co-ed group had left our group, I heard about her getting pregnant from somebody just weeks after that. She accomplished the mission. Now, I didn't know I was part of her mission. I didn't know that she had locked eyes on the target. She had acquired the target. She had approached the target. She had interacted with the target. She had negotiated with the target. She had established a rapport with her target. But I was her target. And when the mission fell through, she did not abort mission. She was going straight for what she wanted. And I realized later, once I heard that she had gotten pregnant by somebody at the other boarding school, I said, doggone it. Daggum, wouldn't you believe? By golly, she accomplished her mission. She said, I'm gonna get him. He's mine. Whatever she wanted, I don't know why, but she made sure she got that guy, right? That told me something about human ambition, human ingenuity, human intuition, human imagination. The things that you will do, the things that you will grow through, the things that you will go through in order to accomplish what you want in life. We have no limits. There are no limits. She had no limits. I'll never forget how she made it work, how she made it happen. And I think maybe they kicked her out of the school because usually when girls that were co-ed, when they got pregnant by somebody, they couldn't have them in the school anymore, so she got kicked out. She got what she wanted. And it told me that when you put your mind to something, when your mind is put to the task, no one else has to ask. You can move so far past. You can be willing to last. There is nothing in life that you cannot surmount. Like they say in that song, right? Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough to keep me from getting to you. Woo! Come on, baby. There is nothing in life you cannot do to keep me from getting to you. So I hope that you learned something from this story of dedication, even though it was a more lascivious vibration, even though it was kind of a lustful conversation. Understand that the power is always in your hands. And if you set out to accomplish something, you can design your own plan. Know that you can. Much love, my friend. Take care. We'll see you again very soon. We're already there. Woo!